When I see the Steam rating for this game, it seems to me that players that reviewed it forgot that this game has a plot and voice acting, both of which are a 5 out of 10 at best. That comes at no surprise in a Sonic game, but if gameplay is all you're going to care about, why do people complain about the plot of Sonic 06 or Shadow the Hedgehog?
Yes!
What?
A game's flaws are not its defining points, especially not in this particular game. But if we're acknowledging the game as an ensemble of thoughts, ideas, and implementations engineered by various employees of Sega, then we need to analyze its other less criticized elements, and whatever this was supposed to be.
Even though we're in different dimensions, we should still be able to hear us.
The game opens up with a chase scene where Sonic is running through some random field after Tails and...
Surprise!
The whole roster is here, including this Julie from an alternate dimension and some Tom, Dick, and Henry who originally weren't even from a Sonic game. Team Sonic have now been charged because it seems continuity was shot. And speaking of wanting to make things dead, I always hated the inclusion of new characters to Sonic's roster. Most of them are bland, barely do anything, and are often mildly irritating. And the ones who get any character development don't even deserve it and just act like plot devices. Maybe they should have just called this game Sonic and his devices.
It's kind of impossible to surprise you.
Tails says Sonic is never surprised, but isn't Sonic surprised by every encounter with Eggman? Tails' 300 IQ can't reason, so what is the reason for giving him 300 IQ? At least in the original cartoon he was 4.
I'm only 4.5 years old. I don't know how to write yet.
What's his excuse here?
Hope you like this.
And now he's a mischievous, lying fox too. Or did no one notice Miles Swiper swiped a chili dog to replace Sonic's forgotten birthday present? And wrapping it in a bow is not creative and is the equivalent of EA rebranding loot boxes as surprise mechanics.
Like it! I love it!
Whenever I hear Roger Craig Smith's Sonic, I always wonder who was responsible for his voice direction. Was he given a piece of paper in the recording booth that simply stated ecstatic? No one expects to be moved by a video game based on an ensemble of furries, but is laughter a natural reaction to the hero dying? Not to mention the same hero who was so stupid as to not keep a single ring on him and now he's possibly died to a slap from his greatest enemy.
Where am I?
So if the Time Eater has altered space-time, why has everything except Sonic changed? Most time travel stories are already poorly written, but this particular one has been so absolved of love that in my eyes the Team Sonic logo would be a more preferable protagonist. If you're going to go full parody, then at least treat it like one. For example, when Tails mentions his consciousness during his time as a garden statue, they could at least follow it up with an over-the-top reaction. Instead, this point is here because no clue why. There is no narrative on the plot or development of the character other than hating being engulfed by the blackest void. Or maybe this is nothing more than a paradigm to a dissertation on claustrophobia.
No stranger than rescuing genies in magic books or saving aliens in an interstellar amusement park.
This game is going out of its way to say every Sonic series game is canon to this universe. Even when Sonic Team picks a mundane story concept like rewriting space-time, they opt to keep in that BS with Shadow and his motorcycle and guns. I can't begin to tell you how aggravating it was when Sonic and Shadow were confused by the populace in the Adventure series. This leads me to believe that as long as you look relatively similar in size and shape to a hedgehog, no one in the Sonicverse can tell you apart, even if you look like this.
Hey Sonic, I saw something over there in the distance. Like buildings, but they look weird.
You don't understand why Tails is just reduced to being a contrived bird watcher that points things out in the game, especially regarding events that he couldn't possibly have foreseen regarding Sonic from now to the end of time-space. And I know what most of you are thinking.
This is a game for kids, man.
How stupid are developers to believe kids won't remember events from 5 seconds ago? Time Eater just appeared. Remember this? 2 Sonics? Remember this? The Chaos Emeralds? Remember this? Shadow the Hedgehog?
Kill me.
Why the hell is the scene dump being given by Tails anyway? They can't even let classic Sonic talk for himself? Was he conceived 5 minutes ago? Is he a mute? Does he only speak in sign language? These scenes with the Time Eater don't need to exist. You only need to watch 4 cutscenes just to get an idea of the ridiculous sequence of events that transpire. What's more, we're led to believe that this is Eggman. So what's he doing here?
I really want Sonic dead. First let me fly around.
I get that they have all the time in the world, but we sure don't. Did you consider retconning previous events without adding ones that don't mean jack all?
Sonic, you should go over there and check it out. I bet you can bring that Chaos Emerald back, just like you brought back our friends.
In more modern iterations, the 7 Chaos Emeralds were a necessity, but Tails talks about having them as if it's the difference between walking in a convenient bus ride down to the movie theater. And the worst part of it all is that Eggman purposely ignores the Chaos Emeralds and spends his time doing what he's always done. Guess what the definition of insanity is? And why are we randomly fighting a million of his rivals for the Chaos Emeralds when they could just as easily given them to us since all of reality is on the line?
Hey, wanna give me the emerald?
Fight me for it. Time travel stories are the laziest and most deplorable form of plot contraptions in story writing. It is already hard enough integrating time travel into your chain of events without completely skewering your presentation. But you reach legendary status when you implement time and space and then refuse to do anything resembling strategic cogitation. Stuff just happens, and then our hero throws a few punches, and then the janitor sweeps everything under the rug.
Gotta sweep, sweep, sweep!
Take the villain of the game, for example, in this particular scene.
After my most recent setback, I stumbled upon the primordial form of this unique creation. It could erase time and space. I then had the brilliant idea to use my discovery to undo my previous defeats. In order to perfect it, I needed the help of somebody as smart as I am. The only person that smart is me.
Therefore, what this scene is suggesting is Eggman of the past has the same potential of his future counterpart with the lack of experience. Essentially what this scene is saying is that Eggman of the past is smarter than Eggman of the future because Eggman of the past wouldn't be stupid enough to use his past self to devise future machinations instead of defeating Sonic of the past. What really aggravates me is that none of this affected the landscape of games to come in any positive way.
Look at you, you screwed it all up again! What the heck happened?
God, even Smash Bros had a more enjoyable plot than this. If there is one part of this game that I thoroughly enjoyed aside from the gameplay is watching Shadow, Silver, and Blaze standing around for moral support and watching Sonic take more slaps from Eggman.
What a great view!
Then the game reaches the climax, which is the most skillfully insurmountable legendary proportions of trash for a final boss. Once you beat him, the day is saved and they go back to celebrating Sonic's birthday again, but with a few extra characters. Considering Shadow and Silver weren't here the first time, it would have been pertinent to remove Blaze prior to the introduction, then establish everyone within this universe, similar to the DC's Crisis storyline. Instead, they pull an
Everyone is here.
BS like Smash Ultimate without any of the charm.
Hey, Sonic! Enjoy your future! It's gonna be great!
Now, slap him. Ow! Thank you.
The end. After all the ragging I've done on this game, I don't actually hate it. It is a light-hearted Sonic game and it is completely self-aware. Strangely enough, the nod that they make to previous titles or continuity in general seems rather inane, as it will leave you asking questions as to why this is happening. Why is this character here? Why is no one affected by changes in these situations? But most importantly, why should we care? Stories in the Sonicverse haven't been groundbreaking or intricately woven. The beauty in Sonic games was in their relative simplicity. I digress though, as this is an opinion, and some people may enjoy the more mature themes in the modern Sonic titles. That being said, fans of the Sonic games that have enjoyed this title say it's the best Sonic game of the modern era, which they aren't wrong. But they place it on a pedestal, and though it's definitely a fantastic game, it is not perfect. As I mentioned before, the story is a mess, but because Sega took a cognizant approach, most people tend to overlook it. The problems, however, don't stop there. Some stages have glitches that occur at pure random, and it completely ruins any immersion that the player would have, especially when they have no idea what they did wrong. Omochao gives instructions on what to do, but oftentimes it fails to give clarity on parts where it's really necessary. This is especially prevalent in boss battles. Hit detection can be counterintuitive, and in certain situations the game slows down Sonic because he is far too close to the boss character. In conclusion, Sonic Generations is not perfect, but when it does accomplish the task it sets in motion, like an enjoyable stage, it does so with the highest regard. If you're new to modern Sonic games, this is a definite pickup, but just keep in mind that the story is not particularly engaging, and there will be a few frustrations here and there.